Now, President Trump is continuing his one-sided feud with the late Senator John McCain. Now, on Wednesday, the Wall Street Journal reported that on the president's latest trip to Japan, he demanded that the Navy move the USS John McCain out of sight. I guess presumably so he didn't have to see it on his way in. Now, Acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan had personally approved an order to obscure the warship so it would not be visible to the president when he arrived by helicopter. Sad. Baby. The report added that he only would have seen it in passing during touchdown and immediately transported to the USS Wasp, nowhere near the John McCain. But apparently, it doesn't matter because seeing the name is more than enough to trigger the baby that is Donald Trump. Now there's more. While the warship was not actually moved, a tarpaulin was used to cover its name, a barge was used to partially obscure it, and any sailors wearing a cap with the ship's name were given the day off. Now, imagine that, man. I mean, dealing with somebody so incredibly thin-skinned that they get instantly triggered when they see the name of somebody that they just don't like. How pathetic is that? And look, I'm no fan of John McCain. Don't mistake me on that. Don't assume that I am in favor of John McCain because I am against Donald Trump. Now, he has done a couple of good things, but he's also done way more bad, in my opinion. For example, he's never met a war he didn't like. And here's Donald Trump basically acting like John McCain just bombed Trump Tower. Which, again, wouldn't surprise me because, again, John McCain really, really loved bombing people. In fact, he talked about bombing Iran. He sung about bombing Iran. Not a good guy. But neither is Trump. Nobody's good in this story. Now, as for Trump, this is a guy who's in control of the military. He is our commander-in-chief. That's horrifying. Now, after this report got out, Donald Trump immediately denied it. He said, quote, "I was not informed of anything having to do with the Navy ship USS John McCain during my recent visit to Japan. Nonetheless, FLOTUS and I love being with our great military men and women. What a spectacular job they do." I could say so much there. But okay. People were not, of course, buying it on social media. Jason Haber said, quote, "Snowflake is having a bad day." Luke Flint said, "Thanks for confirming the report." Again, when you're dealing with Donald Trump, a vigorous denial is almost just like a confirmation, basically. And Navarro said, quote, "Trump will never be able to erase John McCain from our history." And in some ways, that's kind of a sad thing. He feels insecure in comparison. Can't blame him. At most, he'll get an inner tube full of hot air named for him. And astronaut Mark Kelly says something that I do disagree with. "This is a disgrace. I would have been proud to serve aboard the USS John McCain, and I bet those sailors are too." Again, you know, John McCain, I'm not a big fan of the guy. And I know. I'm going to get some people like, "Jeff, you got to be civil because he's dead." No, I don't. No, he's caused the death of a lot of people. And naming a ship after him, I don't necessarily agree with that. Then again, since it does seem to trigger Donald Trump quite a bit, maybe it's not so bad. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.